going to look at your writing today, and what I noticed about both of you as writers that's really good. Can I give you a compliment? Okay. Something I noticed about both of you is that you really thought a lot about how, is it Magpie?
Yeah.
How Magpie changed in the story, and you gave some really good examples about the beginning and the middle and the end. That is really good. So you're thinking about how that character changes all throughout the story, and I bet you do that a lot. Okay, so I was wanting to show you something to make your writing even better. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So with this type of writing, do you remember what this writing asked us?
Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I had to look several times. It asked us to explain how did Magpie change through the story Fox. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we are writing this kind of writing, we have to really keep in mind what is the question asking, and then be able to okay, what are my thoughts about that? Okay, so you guys have in yours some examples. So let's think, because we want to be able to, at the very beginning, we want to be able to say, how did Magpie change, beginning to end? Okay, what are some words to describe? Is it the feeling that changed, or is it the character trait that changed?
The traits.
The traits. Okay. All right. So tell me what Magpie was like at the beginning of the story.
He was trusted with dog.
Say that again.
He trusted dog.
He trusted, and
Yeah.
that was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So showed trust. I'm gonna say trusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trusting. So this is the beginning. Okay, do you have a way to describe Magpie at the beginning of the book that's different? What would you add?
Like a word, good word or a bad word?
Either way. What describes?
It's a loyal. Well, that is in the middle, but I think so. But in the beginning, I think it's kind to dog.
Kind, okay. Those words like loyal typically go along with that. Kind, okay. Do y'all want to add anything else? Okay. Okay. What about at the end? Because our question, and the reason why I say the end is because our question says, how did Magpie change from the beginning to the end? What's a word you might use? I'll let you go first this time if you want to. What would you say about how Magpie changed at the end?
He changed and being kind into being like a little bit scared because the fox was mysterious and sad or
So scared or sad?
scared or sad because Fox tell her that she's gonna feel that real how it feels to be alone.
Oh. So Fox said you're gonna feel how it feels to be alone, and so now Magpie is feeling maybe scared or sad. Do you want to add anything else to that? Okay. What else would you add to that? How did she change?
Magpie at the end he was suspicious about Fox because he didn't trust him because he looked different and he didn't trust him.
suspicious, not trusting. Okay. So you're saying that at the beginning Magpie was very trusting, but by the end Magpie was suspicious or not trusting.
Yeah.
And there were some like things that happened in between and there was a reason why.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that at the beginning Magpie was very kind. Do you want to add to that at all? Do you want to add anything else to kind at the beginning? Because at the end you said they're like scared and sad. Anything else you want to add to that?
My word for
Mm-hmm.
the beginning was trust.
Trust. Would you like me to change it? Trusting or trust? I'm going to write it. You can decide. Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when we go to answer one of these questions, you guys did did a great job of giving examples. And when you laid it out, you did beginning, middle, and end, just like we would do when we write a story, right? But what we have to do when we're answering this kind of question is we kind of have to answer that question right away and then give more information about it. So if I was going to say, I don't know much about Magpie, okay, but I might say something like, in the story, which you guys did this, so in the story Fox, Magpie was very, I'm going to use kind, very kind at the beginning and changed to being very untrusting at the end. Okay? So I've answered that question by just that one really strong sentence. So you guys already know to use the text and the character, but we want to answer the question that we asked, and then later we're going to use all of this to like explain how did they start out trusting and then move, okay? So your job right now is to write that sentence. So that's going to be, that's your opinion, your thought on how did Magpie change, okay? All right, so all right, I want you to try it out loud first. Will you try it out loud? Do you want to think about it for a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Or if you want to start writing first, you can. So, in the story, how did Magpie change? So from beginning to end. Okay. In the story, Fox, how did Magpie change from the beginning to the end? Okay. Go for it. Yep, and I love what y'all are using as far as like in the story Fox. If they were hesitating, I would have them rehearse it out loud. I don't want to interrupt progress. Another thing we could do is, you good? Okay, keep going. In the story Fox, Magpie learns how in the beginning. If you changed your mind, you can use a different word, it's fine. We could also like have some different examples of some claims about this, and then like let them think about which ones they, is the strongest. We could put a few examples.
Okay.
answer that question. How did she start at the beginning and how did she change to the end? Switching to the end now? Oh, okay. All right, keep going. So right now we're just saying what happened at the beginning and the end. We're going to give our examples later. Said in the story, Fox, Magpie was trusting dog. His dog had saved Magpie. Okay, how did it change?
It changed because then dog found a fox, and since dog was kind to the fox, but Magpie was kind of suspicious.
Oh, okay. So when we're trying to just answer the question at the very beginning, we're going to go ahead and give our opinions or our thoughts. So you said at the beginning they were trusting because dog saved Magpie, but by the end, how did it change? She was kind of suspicious because
Fox looked like weird.
Okay, I'm going to put a line here. I want you to use that, but, okay, so had saved Magpie, but by the end, what happened? How did they feel? What? Alright, in the story, Fox, Magpie was scared when dog had her in her mouth. But then she trusts dog, and notice that her leg was hurt because she was in dog's mouth. Okay, so what was the feeling at the very beginning?
Scared.
Scared, okay. She was scared when she was in mouth, but then trusted. Was that at the beginning as well?
Yeah.
So her initial feeling was being fearful, but she started, is Magpie a she? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
She started to trust dog because of
Because he
saved, rescued, saved. Okay. But how did she feel at the end?
She feels like sad.
Earlier you told me sad or scared. Yeah. Okay, so, but then she trusted. So then we go by the end. So we're going to go ahead and say by the end or but at the end of the story. We could use that. One of those phrases. Which one do you like?
Bye.
Okay, by the end. Okay. So you have how they felt at the beginning. Magpie was trusting because they saved. Then, but dog had saved Magpie, but at the end, she was suspicious about Fox. And we would probably want to say why. What'd you say earlier? Because. So what you did here is you started to say, okay, that the dog, that Magpie was trusting. We're gonna leave this part, we're gonna save the rest of this for later. So to answer the question, in the story, Magpie was trusting Dog because Dog had saved Magpie. But at the
Sorry
end,
for the interruption.
she
Teachers,
was
please read your
suspicious
email
because
that
Fox
Fran
looked
sent
weird.
a little bit ago. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so in there, by just having that one really strong sentence, we're able to answer the question, and then now we're gonna be able to go give like, okay, here's what happened, here's an example from the story, here's an example, and then here's an example, and you've got lots of those that we can add in just a little. So one thing we can do when we're talking about change is we can say phrases like but or by the end. Yeah, okay. Okay, so you started out scared at the beginning, but did start to trust, but then at the end was really feeling alone. And so the phrase, you guys use some phrases to help you talk about that change. So when we are answering a question, we have to think about what did the question ask, and then how can I answer it? And then later is when we start to give all of our examples and reasons why. But you can also use those phrases. You used but to show a change, and you said by the end to show a change. So use some transitions, and that's something you can use every time, okay? All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna keep your writing for right now. Thank you for writing. I wanna let you guys go so you can get ready.